Could this be it? After all the pain, all the suffering, all the death, all the boredom, could this year finally be turning around? Could this year finally be getting better? Probably not, but at least we'll have some halfway decent games to play in our time of need. Let's talk about that. Okay, so gaming news has been absolutely blowing my fucking mind lately. For a while, it was cold turkey, just fucking nothing. If we did get announcements, it was, just little tiny things that nobody gave a flying fuck about, nothing major, and besides that, it was just like gaming updates telling us that, oh, this game you've been eagerly awaiting all this time is getting delayed. Yet again. No fucking shit. But now, as of September, it seems like, I don't know, just things are suddenly happening. Just a lot of things are happening. Now, we already knew about Crash 4. And we already knew that was supposed to be coming out in October, so next month. Really looking forward to that. It's definitely shaping up, looking to be something pretty damn good. And, hopefully the Crash 4 that everybody's been hoping for, because, as you know, Rough Cortex was kind of lacking in some areas. But, anyway, yeah. I haven't talked about that much since I talked about it before, which, when it was first announced, they showed off, Crash, Coco, and Cortex, which, obviously Crash was going to be playable, and, kind of Coco was a no-brainer too, because she was in an Insane trilogy, so kind of makes sense. However, Cortex hasn't actually been playable since Twinsanity, and he wasn't the best character in that game. Not bad, by any means, but just nothing really too special. He looks like he's gonna play a lot better in Crash 4, though. In addition, though, they also showed off Dingodile. You can play as Dingodile now. That's a thing. I don't know, how much I care about that. He's a cool character, but it's cool. The more the merrier, I guess. And, he looks cool, and, using a flamethrower in games is always fun, I find. Then again, that could just be, my insanity playing a role in that. Me enjoying, burning things in video games. Moving on, though, Tawna Bandicoot was announced as a playable character. What? Yeah. Hasn't really been in a game for fucking years. Well, for a while wasn't in a game for years. Just appeared in the first game and then just poof, vanished off the face of the earth. Never to be seen again. I don't know, she might have been in Crash Boom Bang, but we don't talk about that. We don't ever talk about that. Anyway, she definitely appeared in Insane trilogy, though. No shit, because that included a remake of Crash 1. I don't think you can have a remake of Crash 1 without Tawna in it. Because that would have made no sense at all. In any way, shape, or form. I think she was playable in Crash Nitro Kart as well. Haven't actually gotten around to still haven't gotten around to playing that game. Yeah, Crash Team Racing Nitro Field. I think she's in that as well. Yeah. Yeah, I did finally get around to playing Insane Trilogy and Crash of the Titans, though. I had mentioned in my previous video, well, the last video where I talked about Crash 4, where I talked almost strictly about Crash 4, I had said that I hadn't played Insane Trilogy or Crash of the Titans, but I'd played pretty much every other game, minus Nitro Field, but whatever. Point is, yeah, I have finally gotten around to playing those. I do find Insane Trilogy to be a rather solid way of playing the first 3 games. I'd even maybe go as far as to say, in my personal opinion, at the very least, it's the best way to play Crash 1. Kind of ironed out all of my personal issues with the game. And, you know, brought some of its own issues as well, like the jumping is... It ain't right. It ain't right. The jumping has a lot more weight to it, so you find yourself a lot of the time not being able to make jumps as easily. That jumps that would have been like much easier to make in the original games, you can't make them as well now. I mean, in the case of Crash 2 and 3, you have the slide jump, which, you know, gives you much more oomph to your jump, which helps immensely. But the first game doesn't have that, so you're just stuck, you know, walking towards the edge and hoping you don't either completely miss the jump or, you know, fall down the pit, because you have to go so far to the edge just to make the jump that you might just end up slipping off instead. So that's a problem. But other than that, I found the game to be rather nice, actually, and it looks really good, even on Switch. I actually did get the game on Switch during a eShop sale. Got it for $20. But yeah, moving on. I also played Crash of the Titans, which is not even half as bad as people have made it out to be. Not at all. I mean, it's not like a, you know, 10 out of 10 masterpiece game of the year or anything. Not at all. And it does certainly have its, you know, problems, but I'm just saying it's a pretty solid game, if I'm being honest. Maybe not such a good Crash Bandicoot game, but a good game, definitely. Definitely worth your time if you're looking for a halfway decent beat-em-up, but yeah, I mean, it's like a 7 out of 10 at best, but still, it's not a bad game. It's a pretty good game. I liked it a lot, actually, and I'm more than willing to admit that. But yeah. Okay, moving on away from that, kind of got off topic a little bit. Yeah, Crash 4 has Tawna now. Well, technically, but also technically not. Apparently, she's a Tawna from a different dimension, and as a result, she has a completely different character design, kind of a, you know, punk rocker look, and also has like a, I guess you could say, an adventurer's jacket. But she looks pretty fun to play, so there's that. And her not only appearing in Crash 4, but actually being playable is a pretty big deal, because, like I said, she hasn't been in a game, in a mainline Crash game, for a long time. I don't think the remakes really count. Yeah, but that's nice. But yeah, she apparently comes from a different dimension where she's a total badass, and they even possibly hinted at the fact that Crash and Coco may have died in that dimension. Maybe not, but also maybe so, and that's not really a spoiler, because it's in the trailer that they kind of hinted at that. But I digress. Yeah. I mean, I like her original design and her Insane Trilogy design better for reasons, but I dig her. I dig her new design. It's cool. It's a cool design. Like I said, kind of a punk rocker look. If you haven't seen it yourself, take a look. It's definitely different, but you know, no worse than some of the designs in Crash of the Titans. But anyway, moving on from that gaming news, moving on from Crash 4 and Crash Bandicoot in general, because I've just been talking about Crash Bandicoot for 10 fucking minutes. Yeah, Nintendo dropped a Mario 35th Anniversary Direct that blew people's minds. Mine included, more or less. It was a pretty big deal. It was a pretty nice Direct. And, you know, we finally are getting Super Mario 3D World on the Switch, which is something that should have happened a long fucking time ago, if we're being honest. They actually put Captain Toad Treasure Tracker on Switch before Super Mario 3D World. What even? Literally, Captain Toad is a game that is based on side missions from Super Mario 3D World. You're gonna make basically a compilation of side missions before you port 3D World to the Switch. Makes perfect sense, guys. Makes all the sense. I know there's a little more to Captain Toad Treasure Tracker than that. I've played a demo of it. It's fun, and I played the Captain Toad mini games in Super Mario 3D World. They're fun. It's you know, it's fun stuff. You know, it's all good. But I'm just saying, porting that over to the Switch before porting 3D World just makes no sense to me. But you know, it's finally coming. It's coming next year. So, cool. I don't know how soon I'll be getting it, because, I mean, I already have the Wii U version, but it is nice that it's coming to Switch finally, and it's got a bonus mode called Bowser's Fury, so that'll be cool, I guess. You know, point is, people who didn't get to play the game before are gonna get to play it now, which is nice. It's always nice. It's always a nice thing that happens. They also have this weird thing called Mario Kart Live, whatever the fuck. I forgot the name of it, but it's a really weird but interesting little thing. It's basically a Mario Kart game that takes place in your house. Now, for anyone who doesn't know what this game is, or hasn't seen it, or didn't watch the Direct, you might be really confused. Like a Mario Kart game that takes place in your house. How is that even possible? Well, allow me to explain how this works. Basically, there's this RC car with a camera that you control with the Switch, and you like set these things up, and you basically like set the course up in your house, assuming you have room, which I don't, so I won't be playing that anytime soon. But you set the shit up around your house, and then it projects onto your Switch, and your house basically becomes a Mario Kart racing course. It's really cool, actually. Really strange, but also really cool. And yeah, it's definitely a very Nintendo-ish thing to do, because they definitely like to incorporate unique things into games. Sometimes with halfway decent results, other times with not so great results. Power glove. Sorry, allergies. Anyway, yeah. That's a thing that they're putting out. I don't really know how to feel about it, but it's a thing, and it's cool, I guess. In the same way that Nintendo Labo is kind of cool. Because, you know, who doesn't want to play video games with cardboard? Anyway, moving on. They also have Super Mario 3D All-Stars, which is the thing now. It's a compilation featuring Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy. Not Super Mario Galaxy 2. I don't know why that is. The fucking Super Mario Galaxy 2? What's that? There was never a Super Mario Galaxy 2. What are you talking about? It's all in your head. You're fucking crazy, man. I've never heard of Super Mario Galaxy. Did you know there was a Super Mario Galaxy 2? I didn't know there was a Super Mario Galaxy 2. Oh well, too late now. Whatever. No love for Galaxy 2. It just gets to sit there and cry in the corner. Like me. In social situations. Yeah, this is getting a little too personal. Let's just move on from that. Yeah, I already pre-ordered Super Mario 3D All-Stars. I opted for the digital version because fuck trying to hunt down a physical copy. I'm not going through all that drama. Yeah, okay, you want to try to hunt down a fucking limited run physical copy during a fucking pandemic? It's not gonna happen, okay? I ain't trying to work my way past a bunch of fucking crazy toilet paper buying weirdos and Karens just to fucking hunt down a physical copy of the game. I'm opting for digital because it's much more convenient. And also, I don't have to worry about potentially losing a cartridge, so yeah, it's a win-win in my book. Can actually, you know, confidently secure a copy while at the same time not having to worry about a, you know, little tiny cartridge that could possibly get lost. Yeah, so it kind of pisses me off though, because, you know, I've been kind of hoping for Sunshine to be ported to the Switch since last year. I was kind of hearing rumors about that since last year, and I just kept hoping it would happen because I was itching to play Sunshine. I played that game as a kid, but I stupidly ended up selling it because, you know, I didn't think that I was gonna ever want to play it again, and I also didn't know that it was gonna be expensive later down the line. You don't really think about that kind of shit when you're a kid. You're just like, I'm sick of this game, I want to buy another game, I don't really have the money to, so sell this game, get this game. It's kind of just how I had to do things. But, you know, now that I actually have money to buy games and I can actually keep every game that I buy, I'm just like, you know, probably shouldn't have done that. And then looking at the online prices, I'm just like, well, goddamn. I did end up caving and getting a $40 copy of Sunshine, though, and I played it quite a number of times already. And even ended up 100%ing it, which is something that you're often told to never do because it's really just not worth the effort, but I already knew what I was going to be getting from it, which is, you know, basically nothing other than bragging rights. But, I just needed a reason to justify the $40 that I paid for the game, because I got the game on Amazon, it arrived like, you know, a week later, as games do, and I beat it the fucking day after I got it. I'm just like, okay, $40, and I beat the game that quickly. That will not do. I have to find some way to pad this game out. I've got it. I'll 100% it, and then I did, and I'm like, wow, I actually did that. I didn't think I would actually be able to do that, but I did. That was cool. I actually felt kind of good about that. Definitely never going to do it again, though, because it really is a pain in the ass. Even though, if you ask me, I actually think that Super Mario 64 is a far worse game to 100% in a lot of ways. Sure, you get a better reward for it, but overall, it's a far worse game to 100%. To me, anyway. Because there are actually sections in that game that are a lot fucking harder and a lot more frustrating and a lot more I want to throw my fucking controller out the goddamn window. You know, type sections. But I digress. Anyhow, there is one major problem with Super Mario 3D All-Stars, though. And let me tell you exactly what that is. It's only going to be available for 6 months. It's going to be available until March of 2021. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Yes, limited run games, of course, they don't last. That's why they're called limited run games. It's nothing new. You know, that's all well and good, and I understand that, but, here's the kicker. That applies to the physical version as well. Yeah, or, I mean the digital version. The digital version will no longer be available either. You just won't be able to get the game past March 2021. You won't be able to get the game anymore. And then fucking scalpers are just gonna be, you know, selling it for like $1 million because that's what they do. That's what they do. Because yes, this whole limited edition thing, it is a very Nintendo thing to do. They did that with Super Mario All-Stars on the Wii, they did that with the NES Classic, they did it with the SNES Classic. It's nothing new. It's something that they do. It's how they create hype, I guess. But here's the thing. Scalpers take advantage of that. And they sell these things for like hundreds of dollars. Even though the retail price is like far less than that, they will fucking turn around and sell it for like $900. How about you don't do that? How about you don't do that, you fucking scumbag? You absolute greedy cum dumpster of a human being. Stop it. Stop it. Get some help, okay? Just fuck. Anyway, yeah. I'm just saying, like, you know, they did that with the NES Classic, you know, in 2016, that thing came out. You absolutely could not fucking get one at all because they were selling out. They were selling like toilet paper. I guess that's an expression now because toilet paper sells like hotcakes these days. But yeah, point is, they were flying off the fucking shelves faster than you could secure a thing, or, you know, faster than you could say, I'm getting that for Christmas, you know? No, you're not getting that for Christmas. Fucking little Jimmy's gonna have to settle for a Game Boy. Cause that ain't happening, alright? Anyway, moving on, luckily they re-released the NES Classics in 2018, and they were much easier to get a hold of. The SNES Classics were also much easier to get a hold of because they actually, like, mass-produced those things this time around, learning from their mistakes, and, you know, pretty much even Nintendo themselves was just like, do not buy from scalpers. We got you, fam. We got you. You're gonna get a hold of one of these, alright? If you want one, you'll get one, okay? You want it, it's yours, my friend, as long as you have enough money, okay? But yeah, yeah, I have pretty much all of those classic systems, even the infamous PlayStation Classic. But you know, I got mine modded though, so it can play pretty much anything now. So suck it, Sony, you bastards, trying to fucking half-assed copy Nintendo with your pathetic PlayStation. What games on there are the ones that are actually worth playing? Like fucking, I don't know, like Final Fantasy VII and Tekken 3. I think that's it. And even at that, Tekken 3 is the PAL version, so it runs slower than fucking turtle piss. And Final Fantasy VII can be gotten pretty much anywhere now. Mobile, Switch, PS4, PS3, Xbox One. Fucking cardboard. You know, I'm just saying, it's available everywhere. You can get that game on places other than the PS Classic, so that thing's kind of worthless. Unless you're actually gonna mod it, which I did, and yeah, leave it to fans to make that a much better console. Anyway, yeah, getting off topic again. As I do, this was supposed to be talking about 2020 gaming news, and it just went in all kinds of different directions. Talking for 30 minutes about pretty much nothing. Anyway, yeah, I'm just saying, you know, maybe at some point, Super Mario 3D All-Stars will be re-released, because, I mean, they re-released the Wii version of Super Mario All-Stars. You can actually get copies of that now. I think I even still see it at Walmart on occasion. So, yeah, that's a thing. It doesn't have, like, all the collector's edition shit that it had before, but if you're just looking to get the game, then you can totally do that. That is a thing that you can do. Or if you don't want to do that, you can always just get Super Mario All-Stars on Switch, because that's on the online service now. Yeah, anyway. It's just a shitty situation all around. And, like, you know, scalpers are going to be taking advantage of that and selling that game for like $1 million, so... Can you maybe not, Nintendo? Can you maybe not have that be a limited edition thing and just have people be able to get the fucking game? Because, I mean, like, sure, people who have Switches are gonna be jumping on that shit, okay? Gonna be on that, like, stink on shit, but what about the people who don't have Switches yet? What about the people who, you know, get a Switch in, like, April 2021? They're not gonna be able to play that game. They're not gonna be able to play it. Okay? What's your end game here? What's your deal? What do you have to gain for making this game digital? Or, I mean, making it limited? Like, what do you have to gain from that? Okay, stop doing shitty things. Nintendo, I love you, and I want to see you succeed. But stop doing stupid things! You do stupid things all the fucking time, and it's getting ridiculous. It's getting absolutely ridiculous. Can you not? Can you fucking not? Anyway. Moving on to our final gaming news for today. Finally. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game, is getting re-released. Holy shit. I did not think that would happen. But it's happening. And just in time for the 10th anniversary, no less. But yeah, basically, there was a Scott Pilgrim video game that was, you know, kind of a tie-in with the movie. It's more loosely based on the comic books than it is based on the movie, but it was a tie-in with the movie, came out at the same time as the movie. It was there to promote the movie. But people ended up actually really liking it, and it became somewhat of like a cult classic. And, you know, it was delisted after 4 years, and people were like, well, that sucks. And, you know, this is kind of a game that I often use, Because, you know, I'm not really into the whole, like, digital distribution thing, at least not, like, exclusively. Like, any game that's, like, exclusively digital and has, like, no physical copy whatsoever, I'm really not for that. I'm really not for that at all. Now, I have, you know, gotten a lot of digital games, and, you know, a lot of them are really good, but the point is, it's just, like, I don't know, it's just, it kind of sucks. Because contracts can expire, and if there's no physical copy, then once the game's gone, it's gone. There's absolutely no way of getting it. You just can't get it anymore, and that happened with Scott Pilgrim. After 4 years of being on the market now. Luckily, I did manage to secure a copy of the game before it went, you know, it went poof. And it's a really good game, and I like it a lot. And it's probably, like, my favorite beat-em-up of all time. It's very, like, retro-inspired, and it's got a lot of game references, and it's just, like, you know, just a really, really good game, man. Like, you would be surprised. Most licensed games are, you know, not that good, but this game was, and it was taken off the market after 4 years, and I'm just like, why? Why? Like, I mean, I can still play it. I still got it on my PS3. I still got, you know, the Knives Chow DLC. Speaking of which, yeah, I didn't actually manage to get all the DLC. I got the Knives DLC, but I didn't get the Wallace DLC, and I meant to do that. And then by the time, you know, I was able to do that, it wasn't there anymore, and I'm just like, well, shit. Probably should have done that while I had the chance. So yeah, for that reason alone, I was kind of hoping the game would be re-released. That, and obviously I would like this game to have more exposure because it deserves it. But, you know, luckily that's happening now with Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the Complete Edition. You know, coming to Switch, PS4, Xbox One, other things. Like, I could not believe, like I saw this shit in my sub feed, I'm just like, what am I looking at right now? What is this? What's happening? What is actually happening? This cannot be real. This cannot be fucking real. Like, it just absolutely blew my mind when I saw it. Like, you know, I had the Nintendo logo and everything, and just Scott Pilgrim, I'm like, oh my god. It's happening. It's actually happening. The promised time has arrived. The game is back. It's just nice. It's just nice to see that. Does kind of seem like it's going to be a digital only again, though, which they're kind of repeating their mistake. Really hope that there's, you know, a physical copy. That would be nice, because fucking seriously, we do not need to lose this game again. We can't lose this game again. Okay? Those who forget history are doomed to repeat it. Make a physical copy, you dumb doo-doo fucks, okay? Because once the contract expires again, okay? Once your contract has expired, good sir, that's it. Okay? Sometimes you don't even get second chances. This game got a second chance. There ain't gonna be no third chance, okay? So you better do something to make sure that we don't lose this game again. Cause this game deserves better. Anyway, yeah, it was announced during some fucking Ubisoft event that I couldn't be asked to watch because, well, for one, I didn't know about it, but also I don't really watch mini game conferences. I usually just, like, wait and just see what was announced and then just watch the trailers for whatever interests me. But also during that same Ubisoft showcase, they showed off a Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake. Now, that would be a big deal, and you would think that fans would be freaking ecstatic, especially since there hasn't really been a Prince of Persia game, at least a proper one, since 2010, with the release of the Forgotten Sands, which is very much a forgotten game. People do not talk about that game. I actually thought it was pretty good, but, you know, whatever. The point is, we really haven't seen a Prince of Persia game in a while, and that kind of sucks because, you know, it's a good series. It's a pretty good series, and the Sands of Time was a great game. But you know, people seem to not really be too happy with it now. I thought it looked, you know, okay, but that's the problem. Okay ain't gonna cut it. Okay, like, you know, given the legacy of the Sands of Time, you gotta treat that shit with, like, way more respect, and it just looks to be very half-assed in some regards, I guess. The biggest, you know, complaint seems to be the graphics, which, I mean, I think it looks, again, okay, but like I said, I guess okay ain't gonna cut it. Especially, like I said, given the legacy of this game, it's, like, considered one of the greatest games of all time, up there with, like, you know, Ocarina of Time, Final Fantasy VII, Tales of Symphonia, Devil May Cry 3, you know, basically just games that you have to play. Like, if you're a gamer, that you just fucking owe it to yourself to play these games. You know, point is, people love the Sands of Time. It's, you know, a very beloved game. So, you know, obviously when you're remaking a game like that, you want to, you know, make it the best remake it can fucking be, right? I personally think they pulled it off with Final Fantasy VII, the Final Fantasy VII remake, even though that game technically isn't even complete yet. Only Part 1 came out, and but it was pretty good, though. I liked it quite a bit, and I think that, you know, it's pretty, for the most part, it's pretty respectful to the game it's based on. And it looks really good, too, graphically. Which Square Enix games usually do. Even, you know, among the worst ones. I mean, Final Fantasy XIII is probably one of the best-looking PS3 games out there. Still looks really good, even to this day. Just a really good-looking game. But anyway, off that topic. Point is, the Sands of Time, the remake, just isn't really meeting people's standards so far. Now, I don't think they even really showed off much gameplay, but I mean, could be in its early development stages, could be that, you know, down the road it'll actually look better and be better, hopefully, but or it could just be another, you know, one of those half-assed remakes like Sword of Mana? No, Secret of Mana. Yeah, only time will tell. But with that, that is all the gaming news I have for today. Goddamn, this video turned out being a lot longer than I expected it to be because I just rambled the fuck on, but alright. That's it, though. That's all I really have to say. Finally. So I will end this video before I talk your heads off any longer. And with that, I will see you in the next video, whatever that may be, and whenever that may be. Bye for now.